Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So this is that crazy cover for Michael Jackson's album, Dangerous. So it's just blatantly obvious. There's so much here, and you could get 1,000 experts to interpret this, and you would get 1,000 different interpretations, and then you could get different people from different fields, of different kinds of art fields. They could play with this and do all kinds of things. Because one of the things that I was actually thinking about because of that is like that origami and how those people fold things together and they make other pictures. I don't know if anybody's actually ever done that with this cover. And but boy, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see somebody that knows how to fold the things and put them all together. I bet you could come out with some. It would be a great video. It's like I kind of want to go buy a poster of that or print that out somehow. And it's like start folding it and playing with it and see what would come out. I bet there's just all kinds of stuff in that. After this, I'm gonna search for a video and see if anybody's like origami'd Michael Jackson's Dangerous album. I don't know if that's what it's called. It's not origami. I don't know what they call that folding. It's like origami. I'm not sure exactly. First I got to find out what that technique is when they fold stuff together to find out the pictures. Right? So first I got to find out. Then I'm going to search and see if anybody's done that to this album. So that's one of the things. But so there's just massive stuff in here. So the people that have been around with me know that my story is all about Michael Jackson and it's all about Diana Ross and everything like that. So any of the new people that are coming around, which would be more because I'm doing the Kobe Bryant and associating with the Illuminati stuff, that's like a different thing. So I'm going to kind of like join them together a little bit here and show you kind of what I'm doing and showing you why the Kobe stuff and how it all blends together. Everything is, how it all goes. It all's together. It's a big old pile of stuff. So in this, I'm looking this over, and so the first thing of it, like when you look at it, it looks like an old school when you go to the carnivals. It's like a fun house, okay? So like when you first look at it, it's like, okay, well this is like a fun house at the old school like thing, right? But then you see it's like an actual ride with like a water, and then it's like, okay, well, I know Michael Jackson loves Disneyland stuff, okay? So like I said, I grew up in Los Angeles. I've been to the older Disneyland. I haven't been there a lot of times because they have the stuff like the California Adventure thing. I've never been there ever since they've added that whole California Adventure stuff. I haven't been there in a long time. But I used to go there at the times where like Michael Jackson would go there. So I'd be very familiar of what this stuff. So when I was first looking at it, I'm like, well, what ride does this make me feel like? And I was thinking, well, is it the Haunted Mansion? And then I was like, well, is it Pirates of the Caribbean? And I was trying to give it a feel for more like, well, what ride is it, And then so one thing I found over here is this person has all these things marked up on this. So if you see there, you can see that they're like car rides entering into this funhouse thing, right? So then right above the symbol that's right above the entrance into the funhouse, see it's a, okay, but you can see it there. It's a pirate emblem, okay? So that would be the start of the journey. He's going in and like pirates. And so like what I'm sensing that would be is that Michael feels more like when he was young and in the Jackson 5 days, they were like pirates, And that's kind of what it's like when you're young and you're going for money and you're trying to achieve things, You're young and reckless and you're like more like pirates. And I think that's more of the symbolism of what the pirate means, where he's entering into it. In the young days, it's a Jackson 5. They're just wild and going into it like pirates going to get the cat. They don't know what they're doing. No, he definitely has no clue to what they're doing. None of the kids. They're just like pirates. And Joe's like a pirate too. Yeah, he's a pirate. They're going for the money and stuff. But then when you come out the other side, they've got Michael here. See, there's Michael he's coming out of the ride. He's in one of the cars, right? And not only is he coming out, he's in a suit. But this is a young Michael Jackson. This would be around the time 10 years old when my story, what lines up with people is what I've explained is that the actual song Billie Jean is the telling of the story of Diana Ross informing Michael Jackson that she was his real mother when Michael Jackson would have been about 10 years old, and when the Jacksons first signed to Motown, they moved to Los Angeles, and they actually lived with Diana Ross. So it's in her house. So when the song says like This happens much too soon. She called me to her room. Okay, that's Diana Ross literally calling Michael Jackson to her room. And like, that's one of those things where the people always talk about, think it's a sexual thing, because there's that line, she called me to her room, but they don't actually understand what the song is about. No, it's Michael Jackson, who's 10 years old. Diana Ross literally calls him to her room because he's living in her house. And she tells him that she's his real mother when he's 10 years. That's why it happened much too soon. She calls him to the room. See, she's in control. She's the older woman. That's why she's the one calling Michael to her room. It's in her house. The actual literal understanding of what the song Billie Jean's about. So at 10 years old, Michael's informed that he's not a Jackson, that he's actually the love child of Diana Ross and Smokey Robinson, okay? So first he's going into the fun house like a pirate. Okay, this is going to be fun, right? But what happens, you go through the fun house and all the things happen. And when he came out of the fun house, he was like produced into this little product, okay? And he's telling you that the people now in control of this product that he's been delivered unto is, there's, you know, it's, I don't even want to get into like, because this is what I'm saying, there's always more to what it actually is. Now, obviously, he's talking about, with the all-seeing eye, there's a lot of what he's under control of, and he's on this mission, like that. See, he's all in a suit, he's like businessman, and he's going into the world under the guidance of this. You know, and there's all the things around. That's what I'm saying. This Dangerous album is just insane and stuff of what it actually is, and there's just so much there. Like I said, you can flip it and flop it over. I bet the stuff that would stop popping out would just be crazy on this album, okay? So there's one thing here. They have this thing, and the guy on here has it labeled as an evil leader, okay? And I haven't figured all this out yet because it's like, it's complicated stuff. And over here it says the good king, and it has it labeled as Michael Jackson, okay? But then it has the evil leader and doesn't put a name to it. And at first, when I first saw it, I thought, oh, it's purple. They're joking, making a joke about Prince, like, oh, the little bird. But then I thought, well, no, it's a little bird. And it's like, everything's related to Diana Ross. And with me, it's Diana Ross. And it's like, okay, well, and they're saying it's the evil leader. Who would be the one in Michael Jackson's life? Who's the little bird, the songbird, the singing bird? It's Diana Ross. She's the little singing bird, the little evil leader that's in control of Michael Jackson. It's always like that. And if you actually look at the eyes, if you see the eyes there, Michael Jackson's not like perfectly set up into this mask. You see on the right there, there's the difference, okay? So he's not like actually perfectly set looking perfectly at us. And actually what he's doing, he's actually looking over at Diana Ross. If you actually look at the way it is, he's looking down more at the evil leader, who I would be the songbird, Diana Ross. She's the one in control of everything. He's always watching her move, you know? It's her guidance is what controls him. That's really how it all goes with him. And there's no doubt that shit is so documented and proven. So now I'm going to show you these eyes. There's a couple things I'm going to show you here, and then I'm going to trip you guys out. My older Michael Jackson fans have seen this thing I'm going to show you, but I'm going to trip out the new ones. They're going to be like, oh, shit. Okay, but so the eyes trip me out. I know that there's a lot in these eyes, and I haven't fully explained it because I've looked at a lot of Michael's artwork, and I watch it how he draws eyes and nose, and he draws facial features. A lot of the artwork and this stuff, and then I see all the photographs with Michael Jackson and Diana Ross, how they put their faces right down so you can see the similarities to the facial structures that they have, and their eyes is blatantly obvious. Their eyes are one of the ones that they're doing, trying to show you that, look at our eyes. We have the same eyes because she's his actual mother, and they put that right in your face. And what they do is they show their jawline, their cheekbone, and their eyes. But Michael has the nose of Smokey Robinson and the mouth of Smokey Robinson and the chin. And that's the facial structures of Michael Jackson, of how he actually has. He would have Smokey's ears, you know, but he's got the Diana's jawline, cheekbone, and eyes. Those are like facial features of Diana's, but the eyes are major one. There's a major. But see, these eyes, there's a thing with, so like right when you're looking at the eyes, look at the eyebrows. See, I try and zoom in. Okay, so when I'm looking at it here, so the eyebrow on the left side. You know, it's Michael's right eyebrow, but we're going to talk about it the way we're looking at it. So you see the eyebrow on the left. See the way when it comes down to the nose? See how it's thick? Okay? But look at the eyebrow on the right side. As it comes down to the eyebrow, it's thin. It's thin like hair. Okay? And then the other thing is like the strand of hair there that's in the middle, it looks more like DNA. It kind of looks like a DNA strand, which he could be symbolizing a thing about the DNA where there's the connection, like I say, with the eyes and stuff. There's a connection there with him and Diana with the eyes, and then the DNA strand with the little hair looks more like DNA. Okay, but so these eyes here, there's crazy stuff all around with Michael's eyes. I've kind of always wanted to do a video about the eyes and Michael and Diana's eyes. Eventually I will do that video and stuff. But I wanted to show you this video right now to show you that these eyes with Michael behind the mask here, but then these eyes are just like, there's crazy stuff going on. Okay, so this is Michael Jackson's video history. So you can see it there. That's the video for Michael Jackson's video history, which is like insane. This video, the understanding is like that he would do this in the contrast of who he claims to be and everything and all this stuff. It's just it's madness, okay? But so first of all, just here as we're looking at it, look at the eyeball up in the right, okay? Now look at the black part of the pupil. There's the, you know, and then so look at the little white specks in there. See how it's like more like it's like a demonic happy face. It's more like, it's not like the eye with the pupil in the middle. The way they did it, when you're looking at it, it's more like a demonic happy face is actually what they did with that. So that eye, first of all, it's like, first you look at that like demonic, evil, happy face. You're like, God damn, that's brutal, you know? But then, when you actually come up there, behind the eye. Now you can see them both good too. There. You can see that. And see, now you can see that the hair, the way the hair comes down on the eye, the way it didn't match up the other one, because this eyebrow is actually like the hair of this like demon that's in above Michael's eyeball. It's above his eyeball and behind it, you know, and the way it's there, it's like the demon like looking out, you know. It's right behind Michael. It's just a crazy thing about what's taken on with Michael. And with Michael, it's just one of these things that's like, the symbolism with Michael Jackson, there's obviously all kinds of actual stuff. But Michael Jackson had to battle through all the things in his life. And his actual problems are an emotional issue. He's dealing with the emotional things and the secrets, like the hidden secret right there behind his eye, the hidden demon that he can't tell anybody about. But he puts it out there, and it's right there, that the stuff that he does. You know, and he's trying to explain this stuff. And like I said, see the hair strand looks like DNA. And so you've got this DNA connected to the eye. It's right, it's sitting behind the eye, looking in. It's like the inner thing, you know. And but the hair of it and the way the eye is and that thing, and it's looking at Diana Ross over there in that dangerous thing. But there's that freaking demon. Ooh, that demon is just freaking nasty. That demon trips me out. But see that over there, it looks like DNA, right? It doesn't look like the hair. It looks more like the double helix. And like, so like the symbolism is what he's telling you, but I can guarantee you the real stuff of what's going on there, it's all really tied into the Diana Ross got pregnant by Smokey Robinson when Diana Ross she was actually only 13. And there's that 13 and stuff, but she's actually 13 years and like 8 to 9 months old, somewhere around there. But she's not actually 14. But she gives birth to Michael Jackson when she's 14. So, you know, she had to give Michael Jackson away because it's Smokey Robinson, the father. And at that same time, Smokey Robinson is actually involved with Claudette Rogers, which becomes Claudette Rogers Robinson, his future wife. And she's in his band, The Miracles. So the issues of what happened there, and then Motown's not developed yet. What happened is Smokey Robinson is building Motown with Berry Gordy. They met and they built Motown together. And it was after the meeting of Smokey Robinson meeting Berry Gordy in August of 1957 that Michaels conceived just a few months after that, because Smokey went back. Who's there is Diana. She saw her opportunity and she jumped in. You know, it's Diana's this demon thing is Diana Ross. She's the one. You know, Michael's eye is, when you look at him and you see, but he's showing you it's a evil. What the soul of what he is actually this demonic soul, and it's tied to his DNA through the DNA strand over there, and it's this demonic woman that's behind him, controlling him, overseeing everything, and actually controlling his vision. And it was Diana Ross that did all that stuff, but the reason she did it because she was actually his mother. That's the real story of what's all going on here, and the whole development of who Michael Jackson actually becomes to Peter Pan. Because how in the hell does Michael Jackson, being of a large family with both parents in the house, how does he develop this Peter Pan freaking complex? And that's why everybody so easily associates Michael Jackson into being a pedophile, because the Peter Pan, and he's living in Neverland Ranch, because they never ever associated Michael Jackson with being an orphan child and being given away when he was born. He was abandoned. He was given to the Jacksons. And when you think about the way that Joe Jackson treated Michael Jackson, doesn't it show much more that Joe Jackson was in a controlling and never really respected Michael? Because Michael was just given to him. If Joe doesn't turn him into being the Jackson 5, Joe knows, well, you were really nothing. If I didn't turn your talent, what was your talent actually going to do? It was going to take a whole lot longer time, and you were definitely, none of this stuff was going to be different. So that's why Joe Jackson always was the guy acting like he was in control, and that's why Michael was always, that's why Michael's pupil is like, it's pathetic. It's not a happy face. It's demonic happy. It's fake. It's fake. And he's being controlled by these freaking demons that are right inside his head. They're like right in his head, right? They're right there. And it's a demon through DNA. It's a bloodline demon. That's what this is telling you. There's what symbolism was going on. There's much more there. Like I said, there's always much more there. But that's what this is. That's what's going on right here.